I'm a little late. Yeah, here we are. Make sure y'all like this up and share it up. Like and share this up real quick for me. Share it up for your boy. All right, y'all. What's up? It is Friday the 13th, man. We are at another Friday. We made it. Thank God. God is good. And today we're just gonna go over a few things. Some things that I missed because my show is not a daily show. It's every other day. So we're gonna go over some things we missed and so just some things that I wanted to highlight and talk to you guys about because oh my goodness, when I tell you these YouTube streets, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazier and crazier. My goodness, y'all. Let me make sure the volume's up. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspiredbydreams.shop. And that's dreams with 3 Z's at the end, so you can get your drip on and dress outside of the box. We got a lot of things coming, a lot of new designs coming, and new drops are coming here and there. So new drops are coming here and there, so you have to stay tuned to the channel to see when it's dropping so you can get your pieces. Okay, so the other day, we can all say, Remy woke up with violence. I mean, we're here, okay, let's take it back to the times where we didn't know exactly what was going on. We just heard these rumors about Remy, going sleeping out on Pap and with this battle rapper, Easy the Block Captain. We heard a lot of things like that, and it wasn't that much substantial evidence because we heard, he had gotten into a fight, this and that. But now, man, the other day, wow. How could I don't even know how to start this. It's like you guys are in a relationship. You guys have, in these times, if you're gonna marry somebody, the commitment to that is way deeper than just a regular, girlfriend and boyfriend thing. And things happen. We know things happen. People fall in love with other people. Things go on behind the scenes that we are not aware about. But when I seen this whole thing just go on, and I seen there's another chick. She's a boxer. I seen that. I seen people bringing up old clips of what had what had happened before in the past with Remy and Pap. And my whole thing, when I look at it, just from an overall view, or just looking into this thing, it looks like you guys, whether you guys are in a marriage, you guys might not be the best fit for each other, but you do have a child involved. You have a beautiful little girl involved. Being on social media with this type of thing can be, it doesn't do too well. It doesn't do too well. And number one, all of this sleeping out on your partner, it doesn't even have to be marriage. It all starts from just having a relationship, period, and being just, trusting in the next person. But when you have something, and you add some, and I'm not going to tell you like this. I'm going to leave the question up to you guys. If you get cheated on, is it then in turn, if you cheat after, is it as bad as the first person that cheated, or is it just being spiteful, or is it something that maybe can make you feel like, okay, we can make this work since we are even now? I don't know, but to me it feels like, if you're gonna go down that route, you might as well just leave. Like, if y'all both are gonna be dealing with, different people, it doesn't, What's goody? It's crazy, man. These YouTube streets, it's going down crazy, y'all. I don't know where to start with this whole Remy, Easy, and Pap. It's like, I don't know. I feel like, I see a lot of the conversation. I had put up a video on this, and a lot of people in their conversations, they were saying more about, they were more on Pap's side just because of the simple fact that we knew he had held her down in her sentencing when she had spent I believe it was up to 6 years in prison, and he was there for her. But a lot of people don't see the other, you can be there for a person, but if it's not in you to love in a person, or it's not in you to be in love with a person, that's something you really can't force. So it's a tricky thing with that, man. I don't know, man. This whole marriage in these times are completely different of how we once knew it was to be in the past. You know, in these times it's more dealing with, you know, it's more business structured than it is, you know, partnership structured. You know, and I don't know, man. It just the whole situation between them. It's really crazy. I think at this point, being that everything is out there, we see a lot of things going on. They should just, you know, go their own ways and still make it work for the little one. You know, they might not be the best couple together. They might look like the best couple, but they might not be the best couple. I see a lot of people say, you know, black excellence, black this, black that. You're putting a big title on people, and you're trying to like put them as the poster, and they might not feel that way within their heart. You know, it's just a slogan. It's just, you know, it's something you can live up to if you are in a relationship with somebody that you feel, you know, that close to and in love with. So I don't know, man. Some of these relationships, like I tell you, not just talking about that one, but we see other relationships every other day on TMZ. You see somebody breaking up with somebody, or somebody having to deal with divorce, and it's because not getting to know each other. You don't have to rush into a marriage. You know, you have to spend time with a person and feel like. But I mean, a lot of people feel like, you know, marriage is the thing that it makes it a solid lock it down type of situation. But really, it really isn't, you know. Anything can happen, and a person can have different feelings or fall in love with somebody else. We're only human, and things happen. But when you have a kid involved, you kind of got to try to work it out for, you know, I don't know, man. It's nuts. The latest that I've heard in as far as like the, you know, Jay-Z, this is what I've been talking about with the Jay-Z. You know, they said, I see some people mad that, you know, the NFL didn't drop Jay-Z, this and that. Why are you mad that the NFL didn't drop Jay? These are still allegations. People tend to forget, even if it's a big allegation and the allegations are going all around the world, traveling as fast as gossip, it's still an allegation. And that's what I'm talking about. You have to have some more proof before you start just pointing the finger, because nowadays allegations and headlines are the only things that people like are believing in these times. And it's sad, but at the end of the day, you have to have proof in whatever that's going on. And so let me see. It says here that, you know, Jay-Z's, they're saying that they had like some kind of, the only thing I told you guys, if you're doing any intimidation, anything outside of your business or anything that outside of something that you're being you know, charged for, or criminal wise acts outside of that, you know, like tampering with evidence or messing with people or trying to pay off people, anything like that can put you in a position of prison, and it can put you in a position of looking guilty as well. You know, so you have to in these times, everybody is walking on eggshells. I could just imagine, you know, because honestly, the way it looks like, you know, Diddy might be saying a little bit more than we know. You know, that's why I said it. Diddy holds a lot of information as well too. You know, him just being in this detention place doesn't mean that his mind is locked up. He knows what's going on, and I'm hearing now that he has access now to a laptop, which is not bad. He has a little access to a laptop, giving him a little peek to the outside world that he once knew. And I'm pretty sure he's probably looking through and seeing, you know, who's saying what, and, you know, what celebrities are not there for him, what celebrities are saying what. He knows who was at his party, so that's going to be another thing to, you know, to keep ears and eyes open for, because we don't know, we haven't really heard Diddy's clear side of things. And when it comes to Jay-Z just being implemented or added into this because of you know, the Diddy party and who's ever invited, it looks shaky. It looks very shaky. I can't say right now the evidence that they're throwing at the wall and the things that we're hearing, it's solid. It's not. It doesn't sound solid. A lot of this stuff sounds like mostly led by allegations. You know. I heard, you know, let me see something. I seen something else that just struck me, and I said, why the hell? It just sounded so crazy, and I wanted to present this to you guys to let you guys know that there's going to be some allegations that sounds totally nuts. And so it's former NFL star Larry Johnson. He claims that he saw Jay-Z and Beyoncé at I believe it was another party, but at like a different place, and he had witnessed them. He said in a way like kind of like there were kids around, like an adult party, and he said something how Beyonce asked the kid if, how would you know, was you that close to Beyonce to know that or read her lips? I don't know. A lot of these people, a lot of the allegations and the things that I'm hearing, it could be misconstrued to be something else. Like if you're from a distance and you're seeing something, well, the only thing you can possibly say, okay, well, kids at an adult party, okay, that doesn't seem pretty right. But when you're saying, oh, she said this, and I don't know, man. Like a lot of this stuff. It sounds like people are painting pictures, but I can't knock somebody and what they have to say. But just from it doesn't. It's just so choppy, and when people tell these stories, and it doesn't have like the detail. The detail only falls close to when you're speaking on the celebrity, and then the detail like scatters when you're just speaking about the information. Like in other words, the information can be put on anybody, and it can be seen, possibly true. So it's like one of those type of situations. When I heard that, I'm just like, okay, so so Larry Johnson, if you're gonna get on national TV or on the internet and say something about somebody or how your feelings or what your intake, don't you know that, I mean, people are, it might not be, you can at least say this might not be possibly what it is, but this is what I thought it was. People just get up and they want to be so true all the time, and it's just like, sometimes people are stand behind a lie just because it sounds a certain way, and they're just standing there like, you can't, I mean, things in these times in these YouTube streets, it's going from messy to filthy. What are we doing? I'm hearing that Quando Rondo, he got sentenced. And it's like it's like that rotating door of prison and social media. It's like artists they're doing things and going into prison in this rotating door and going in, going out, going in, and they don't know, keep going into the system. It's not only costing you time, it's costing you money, and after a while, when you go in, that rotating door is going to lock, and then you're not going to be able to get back out. Like I told you guys, it's so easy to get yourself in trouble in these times. But the hardest thing is to try to get yourself out. These lawyers want top-notch money for these cases, whether you be an artist or whatever. If it has anything to do with any criminal activity, money, big money involved, any gun or anything like that, you're gonna end up losing a lot of money trying to fight for something that you could have avoided from the jump. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense. There's so many other things that there's things that's coming up, and we'll see in 2025 and beyond that it's going to be new ways and new routes of making money. So don't sell yourself short by trying to take something somebody else has or something somebody else worked for and get yourself in trouble. You're going to miss what the future has to come. Don't be like these people. Right now, the temperature of the music that I'm hearing and just the things that I'm seeing, the music business, it's crumbling. But I can still see it in some artists' eyes that they want to be there. They want to make this good music. They want to make a change as far as how things are going. But there's really no routes in doing these things, because everybody's looking for drama. Everybody is looking for who said this about who. And there's other artists that's yet to be heard and yet to tell their story, where people are waiting for this destruction with these people. It's nasty out there, y'all. It's nasty. And Remy, man, I don't know. I feel like, if you want me to keep it all 100 with Remy and Pap, I feel like from the jump, I feel like Rem had a little pressure put on her too. It's not just like, cause I'm trying to be fair all around. Rem had a little pressure put on her too from the jump, just because, it was kind of like a force. Oh, he did this for you. And they didn't really sink into her true feelings. So we don't know if she was kind of pushed into this position of, okay, being that he held her down, this would be the right thing to do for this point, and then get into that point and then don't feel as comfortable. Sometimes relationships takes growing with each other, as in the girlfriend and boyfriend stages, until y'all feel like locking it up. So if there is some mishaps where you might, sneak off with this person, sneak off with that person, it wouldn't be that much crazy if you love each other, Eventually you guys will grow out of it. But I don't know. This is how you meet them is how they leave, and I don't know. I don't know, their relationship, I think, started with I believe they were in other relationships, and they came together. So you never know. It's tricky, but the only thing that I felt kind of weird with that picture when I seen Rem, I never seen a couple things. I've never really seen those pictures before. I never seen the pictures of with the Christmas tree with Easy with his hand on her like thigh. That thing right there, that I was just like, wow, I didn't see that, and I didn't see when they was traveling out. It looks like it was a Syracuse game. They were together. All of those things, all of those things. Even though, as a man, if that's my lady out there and that's how she's with somebody else, I would know at that point that she's not my lady, and yeah, it's sad because hip hop deemed them to be, with this black love and black excellence, black love stuff, and you're putting titles on people's head, and you're carving out a relationship that might not possibly be going the way that you think or you want it to go. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. So I don't know. I guess we just have to wait and see how this whole thing ends up. And as far as the other, the other female, I feel like it came to a point where, because it seems like her and Papoose, they do have they have some kind of connection. The way that she was speaking to him in text, and it looks like, she was probably up to this point where she just wanted to get everything, situated between them. Are we going to take this further, or are you still connected with Rem? So it looks like they, I don't know. And then they said that, when she called, Rem had picked up and she hung up. Well, that's, I believe as a female, that would be, even though it's already on a disrespectful, is that, but that seemed like the right thing, or you don't want to speak to, it's, and what I didn't get, this confused me. Papoose, so you're still living in Remy's house. You're still living in, this thing is a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. I think the only fair in this situation between them probably would be the lawyers and the law getting into it and, splitting up whatever they got to split up. But I guess somebody don't want to give somebody a divorce. That's always been weird to me. I don't know how that works. But that drama has what can I tell you? In these times, relationships are not the same. They are not the same. You have to make sure who you getting up with, and it's the right person you can see yourself with for a long time. Because if not, down the line, it just gives you a whole bunch of headaches and things that you don't. Some people are free birds, and people don't understand that. Some people, in other words, you don't want to lock down to anything because the way your lifestyle fits, it just doesn't. It has its selfish points where you might need more me time than the average person just to clear your mind or do what you have to do, or you like sleeping with different people. Certain things are not meant for everybody. Marriage isn't for everybody. It really isn't. It really isn't. The only sad thing that why social media and everything is gathered in and throwing in their 2 cents is because there's a kid involved. And that's the only reason. If it was anything else, it'd have been just like, you guys could like go with separate ways. But when a kid is involved, they're gonna eventually they're gonna be on their journey trying to figure out what happened with mommy and daddy. And hopefully at that point, you guys could be in a better position, even if y'all are not together, in a better position where y'all are working things out, the right way. So I still hope for the best for Remy and Pap. And if they're not together, like people are saying on social media, hey, hope they can work things out where it doesn't have to be like friction in between. And like I told you, Diddy, he's on, with another thing that was kind of sad, OG Maco, man, he tried to unalive himself. In these times, things can be so heavy, man. I looked at it, I was like, wow, and he actually, he shot himself, I believe, in the head. And that was reported by TMZ. So healing energy goes out to OG Maco. Dang. You never know what a person is going through. Sometimes you can pick up on the energy. Sometimes you can read a person if they feel like they're in a position, if they want to be there, where to be, to be read. Sometimes people, they get themselves off of social media, they just disappear for a few, and then we hear these things come up because they're dealing with their own problems. I feel like facing your problem, the first thing you have to realize is what's the problem, like once you realize and start breaking that part down, you can kind of get a better understanding so you won't try to hurt yourself. But I don't know what he was going through. Sometimes people don't understand too, if you're using these pills and things like that, it's just like on these commercials when you hear at the end of it real quick, it's like this pill can cause suicidal tendencies and things like that. that is almost the same thing. So you don't know when, if you don't know the reactions to some of these pills that people are making up in their house or wherever they're making this stuff, and they're serving it to you, and you don't know what the reaction is. Maybe that could be a part of it. I don't know what it is, but trying to, unalive yourself in these times or just any time is not. It's you can do something better than that. God put you on here for a purpose, not for you to just come here and skip out on it and blow it away. Don't go down that route. So I hope he's getting help. And I mean, he did it. He tried it. I believe he shot himself in the head. I'm hearing. So I'm hoping that the gunshot. The gunshot wound wasn't bad enough to kill him. So I'm hoping that he's still himself. In other words, like he didn't make him go brain dead or anything like that. So I'm still waiting to see what's going on with that OG Maco being hospitalized. That's kind of crazy. It seems like Lil Durk, man, it keeps getting worse and worse for this guy. Now I believe they pulled up 2 more cases where it could be a possibly he's involved with 2 other, murders. Like, what's going on? What are you? You have to make that decision. You have to make up your mind. Are you going to leave the streets alone and leave all of that, macho machismo, take over, I have to take over this or kill or shoot this person, hurt this person? Are you going to leave that stuff behind you and try to start a new life? Because you can't continue doing that stuff and then say you want to change. You can't be good and bad at the same time. It catches up with you, man. It really does. It's a sad thing because I felt like Lil Durk, he was one of them ones for me. He was one of them ones where, like, I seen his whole come up from the beginning. I'm talking about, I can still remember his first wifey, the white girl from not the DVD, the documentary, and him just talking about it in his younger stages to, him just making his way in the game of hip hop. You went all of this far to get yourself still involved. All of this murder for hire and stuff. You might feel like you have some kind of power because you have money now to put in somebody's pocket that doesn't have it and make them do whatever they feel like that money is worth doing to them. But at the end of the day, it still falls back on you. That person, whatever happens, whatever that person does, it can wipe out your career. All of that stuff is federal time that you can't get back. It ain't worth it. In other words, instead of trying to put out a hit on somebody or trying to get somebody else hurt, why don't you try and find new ways where people can never connect with you? Those people that you don't want around you, try to put yourself in a place or work out a space with the money that you have so they can never be connected to you. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to get this person to throw away his life to try to get that guy to take his life. All of that stuff it's criminal and it's demonic. You're in a position to do better for yourself and your family. Don't hurt somebody else's family. You changing your life, the person that you're out there chasing to do whatever harm to, they can look at how you changed your life. If you turn your life really around without doing that nonsense, and they can actually change their life without going forward trying to make the same mistakes that you made to get there. That's all it's about. Becoming these places, they're very aggressive, where it's not people don't just come up in places where it's just soft and always happy. It's aggressive living. So once you get into that, you have to know how to sustain in it, and you have to know it's not just about offense. It's always about defense too. Sometimes I see a lot of people out here that they're choosing the gun route because they're scared inside. But the reality of it is just it's not even about picking up your fist. It's about using this. If you know you're in an aggressive area, there's ways you can maneuver in life without having to, you're gonna get into things here and there, but there's ways you can avoid a lot of this stuff. I see a lot of guys, they came from the street, they kept that knowledge within them, and they changed their life by not going back to that type of way of, that way of resolving things. Some guys come on YouTube and they share their experiences. These are the things that I love because they're showing you that, look, you know what? I'm not taking that route no more, but this is what was wrong with the things that I was doing back and then. And they correcting their wrongs as they're living. That's just like myself. Like the things that I felt like in the past that I might have did, like, wait, hold on. I'm never going to do that again. I understand. Now I'm more looking towards how that next person will feel. And that would tell me if I have to pursue this or is this going to be a forever thing. You gotta know how to pick your battles and know who's really your enemy, man. Because a lot of people, they make up these enemies and they draw enemies and people all this harm to themselves because they're just so fearful of something's gonna happen that they end up attracting that type of energy. And it's like, come on, man. You got to do better than that, especially out here in New York, especially in places like New York, LA, Detroit. These are places where it can get aggressive for people. And just not knowing what you're doing and not having the right street smarts can get you in an early grave, man. So for all my people out there that's, out there just thinking on that mindset, you can switch that around. Every other week there's somebody getting shot. You mean to tell me you can't do something new? You can. You can. I heard something that was kind of crazy. It's nowadays. You'd be surprised to the people that you feel like. I'm hearing that Cardi B, she's in court again. And she's trying to dismiss Tasha K's bankruptcy because she's saying that Tasha K has her money in different places, and I just hope with all of this suing. I know that's a big thing, in these times, suing because of certain things people might put out. But I just wish all of that would we can try to get back to where it's people that's doing the music is just doing the music, people that's doing the blogs, and we just all have a community that's working because we all we got. I don't know if you see it or not, but we all we got. We're all we got, man. We're all we got. For some reason, I'm hearing now LeBron, he's stepping away. I don't know why, but I love LeBron James, great player, but there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we might not know of, man. Trust me when I tell you. A lot of things. Hold on. It's like Easy the block captain out here. He just, he's absorbing everything. This is a new wave for him. But what can I tell you, man? Pap, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? I feel like sometimes your silence could be detrimental to things like this. Sometimes I don't know if you guys seen this, but even Cassidy, he just dropped a diss track on Easy, the Black Captain. I'm like, what's going on? Healing energy out to Cassidy, so it looks like he's doing better. We haven't heard from Cassidy from this, I believe, the last battle, with the whole John situation. And now we see he's back out, but he's back out dropping. He dropped the track was dope too. Like he took the sample, we want Easy, and he did like a diss track towards Easy the Black Captain. So they got something going on. I think that would be a crazy battle. But who knows, man? Everybody's going at Easy over this thing, man. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I know there's a thing where you can't. If you're in a marriage, you shouldn't be looking for love. You should already be in a place where love is what you settle for. But like I told you, a lot of people in relationships, and it's just not the same. A match doesn't always mean that a couple looks good together. Sometimes a match could be two people share, like you can share a trauma that brings together, and then that you're trying to heal each other. Like each of you are trying to heal from your traumas, and just because y'all on a path of healing, y'all could fall in love and things. You could meet people. I don't know. And that's my whole thing too. I see a lot of like celebrities sleeping with the same people and all of that. There's so many people in the world that. Why does everybody want to sleep with what somebody else is sleeping with? Unless you just so happen to, things happen and you guys fall in love. You guys start or want to mess around. You attract to each other. But most likely, man, how hard? I couldn't imagine. I don't know. I can't say that. Everybody has their benefits, and when it comes down to relationships. But in these times, man, the trust level is very, 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 very low. People feel like they got options. That's what it really is. People feel like they have so many options. And I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, it's Friday the 13th, man. I'm under relax, man. I'm cooling out today. But I was ready to chop it up with you guys, though. With all that's going on, I was just like, man, What the hell? As for any man, I'm be honest with you. Just so from the outside looking in, man. From the beginning, I would have been trying to get my. When I heard that, I mean, and they resemble each other, like. So what's this whole thing? So a conversation outside of this that's going on too is that Remy shouldn't be mad that Papoose is possibly allegedly dating this the boxer. I don't know. I really don't. I can't pinpoint what's the facts here because it looks like if he's dating her, the first thing that got me kind of thinking was like, why are you still living in the same house? If you guys are gonna separate, I'm not saying you put it on social media, but you could just, easily, because you can't date somebody unless you're disattached from what's going on because it's kind of disrespectful to the next person in the relationship. You're kind of giving them like they don't have anything to stand on to know if this is gonna go long or is this gonna be just a for now until you feel like you're ready to go back with her. Like what's going on? So it's iffy when it comes to things like that, y'all. That's why stay single till you fall in love. Until you really feel like this is it. Hooking up and things like that, that's cool. That's cool because you're trying to get to know a person, trying to see, the things that you could possibly, For me, I feel like it takes a while to get to that point where you want to lock it, but it's a feeling. It's not like a set time. It's like a feeling you get like, you know what, I only want to be with you and I don't want anybody else I want to take this a little more further than just, you got to make your love clear out there because there's people out there that's looking for it and they wouldn't mind giving their all into somebody that's willing to give their all to them. Trust me on that one too. Back in the day, the younger you are, it's like looks and things like that. But the older you are, it's like feeling and how that person gels with you. Can they uplift you? Can they do things for you? Is the sex good? Is when you got like, do you want to have more sex in this one? All of these things come into play. All of these things come into play, man. All of them. Let me see. But that's just crazy. I'm waiting to see a little bit more on that one. When it comes to Big J, the big homie, man, I don't know, man. The evidence that they have so far, it's not enough to try to stay. And people are mad because the NFL didn't drop Jay-Z. People are so ready to get people canceled in these times, and for what? For what? You don't know if this is true, so why would you want somebody to be canceled from? It's like, seriously, come on. If you want to point finger and say anything about hating, that's hate. That's hate. That's hate. When you don't really know, your assumptions start making you feel like, no, this is the truth. One day you're assuming, the next day you're willing to stand behind it and talk about how it's so true. It's not. You don't know. You don't know that. I've seen people take it back as far as like remember when Geechee had battled Easy and he was just talking about Remy. I see people pulling those clips up. Man, y'all. I feel like we got a lot of working on ourselves to do. If we could all individually, I see the cast. Let me see, the name of the Cassidy joint is Easy Come, Easy Go. Y'all gotta check that out. That's crazy. And I'm pretty sure Easy the Block Captain is gonna drop something today, back for him. It's rap. Let's keep the music flowing and let's keep it on that, And it's hard. You want me to keep it really real? It's hard for don't expect us men to feel like men. We have a different feeling of it, like as far as like the Remy and thing, because Remy, she's sexy. So when you see a female, like, and like a man can sense if a person is with a person, whether they say they're married or not. You got a sense of that, like he ain't really got that on lock. Like they ain't really gelling like how they stay presenting it. And it leaves, like I always tell you, it leaves that open door. But Wrong is wrong, and you know, if you're in a, if you commit, you should go through with it. So that's all I got to say on that one for now. Until later on, I know something's gonna. It's crazy. Shouts out to my boy Andy Appleseed. If y'all haven't seen, he dropped one of Lunel. I love Lunel. She's the best. She's the best. Shouts out to y'all, yo. It's Friday. What y'all up to? It's Friday the 13th. It is Friday. And I'm on the cool out today, you guys. Trying to not to make it harder for myself because I have a few things to do. I said I was going to come on here and just chop it up because a lot of the information that's out right now, it's not, solid like that yet. I seen some things in the news. There's a lot of home invasions, excuse me, that's going on, even with some celebrities. I heard, I believe it was, let me check here for a second. I think it was it could have been an NBA. It could have been an NBA player. But I believe it was an NBA player, and he had to sell his mansion in LA because of the, home invasions and things like that. People are stealing, stealing, stealing. Now I know big corporations, they're losing money and that's different, but when you're breaking into somebody's home where their family's at, come on, man. This is when it's getting to the point of ridiculous. Come on. And they're targeted too. It's not like any home invasions are just like anybody's home. No, these are people that they hold a lot of money in their house, might have a lot of jewelry in their house, they might have a lot of cars in the front, and that attracts the eye to having somebody think that, that there's something in there that they can possibly, profit off of or steal. And people are finding themselves in these scary situations, man. I mean, going out there hurting people for what? For what? Money and for like jewelry and all this stuff. We got to really look past this stuff, man, and start treating each other as real humans, man. It's because it's starting to get scary. It gets scary when it gets like that, man. Come on now. And I see enough. Tay Rock is going in on. Yeah, today is gonna be one of those days where it's like shouts out to Battle Rap Trap. I've seen a lot of their footage too on just this whole Remy and Papoose, but wowzers, wowzers. And this is scary. This is very scary too. What is going on with Trey the Truth? Let me see here. It says on TMZ, Trey the Truth urges the public to help find his missing daughter. And so I didn't really all the way go into this like that, but so what he's saying, because I did hear that he's saying that his baby mother has his daughter, and one of the most scariest things that you can probably, it will make your stomach just sink, is losing your child. And why is it like not like a big manhunt or something? Missing kids and things like that. These are things that, like, when he says that, like, are you? I won't be able to do anything else but look for my kid. It's no music, no dropping albums, none of this, none of that. And the kid has been missing for a while. Does anybody care? And it's from, I believe that the kid's mother has the kid. Crazy things like this is like, what type of relationships are people working with here? You don't want to have a crazy relationship and have a kid. It's better not have the kid at all, because the hurt that you're putting on the kid and the kid has to deal with later on in the future, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's more than just sex when you're trying to, build a family. If it's just sex, try not to get kids involved, or, get that stuff and keep it just at sex. And sometimes mistakes happen, but try to keep it just at sex. But I'm hoping healing energy goes out to Trey the Truth, man. Can't find this kid. That must be like, I don't know. I'm able to sleep at night. Like, that's some really crazy things are happening, especially during the holidays. And oh my gosh, man, healing energy goes out to Trey, man. And I hope he could find, and I hope that everything's all right with that situation. That maybe his baby mother's not one of those crazy women or something that, necessarily or try to harm the kid, because what they're going through has nothing to do with. And sometimes in these relationships, when you break, if you have a kid involved, and one partner goes and moves to the other side of the earth, and you can't find them, this is what really brings in the trauma. This is what brings in the confusion, man. You got to have some kind of, don't just part ways and just run to the other side. It's not going to work like that. It's not going to work like that. Because then all this kidnapping and all this stuff comes into play. And what ends up happening is both of you guys are going to lose that kid. But I feel bad over there, I feel bad for Trey, man, because it doesn't seem, he's not playing around, and it seems like he probably tried the most he can do, and he really can't find his kid. I believe it's his daughter. Let me see. Let me see what TMZ has to say. Hold on. I think I've seen it pass by here. Hold on. It's crazy. I don't know how people could just. Everything ain't entertainment, man. Everything is not entertainment. Let me see what's going on with Trey. Hold on. Here we go.
Tell me what's going on with your daughter.
Good morning. My people.
4 months.
4 months?
Marshals, the FBI, a little bit of everybody looking for her. So, she was. I took her to visit her mom
What?
in Houston, and she was supposed to just spend a day or so with her. And my last time seeing her.
4 months ago.
That's crazy. Number one, so Trey the Truth is saying that he took his daughter to see his baby mother, and 4 months later he can't find his daughter. Like, what kind of, she is crazy. Trey the Truth's baby mother is crazy. You cannot do that. Like, you can't just take the kid and just run off. Like, she's crazy. And God, I hope nothing is wrong with that little girl. God forbid. God forbid. Because some people, you don't know. And he said, the FBI, he got them involved. So so he did actually do everything that he could do to try to find his missing daughter. Like, if you're out there and you're watching Trey the Truth, you trying, whatever his baby mother might feel like that's hurting Trey the Truth, which it is, it's also hurting the kid. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Give that man, if he has custody for the kid, give that man back his daughter and stop doing that, because losing your kid is it's not easy to go on from that. I don't know. Some people are crazy, y'all. Some people are really crazy. I feel bad for Trey the Truth, because, I mean, come on now. You could tell any lady that loses custody of any kid, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I have no ears for that. I have no ears for that. And now you want to take the kid and try to act like you somebody from Trey the Truth. Come on. It's obvious that as far as his income and the things that he's doing, Trey the Truth has been known to, go out there and help the community and things like that. So it looks like the kid would be in better hands with him if they gave him the custody. And now when he lends you the time to spend with your own kid that you're not even, people don't trust you around, you take off and you're gone. 4 months later, can't find the little girl. Like, what's going on with people? People are really cuckoo up here, man. Like, what are you doing? Once you have a kid, the kid is more important than whatever you guys had going on. What you guys had going on was sex. Let's face it. Everything after that that's when the love started coming in, when you guys produced another person. Go find his daughter, man. For real. It's sad enough that black men can't, they're not, it's harder to connect in these times with their own kids due to this whole friction and back and forth and single family homes. And now the man can't find his daughter. You know how he feels? Some men can't even deal with that. They can't wake up the next day when they know that they're not going to see their daughter again. So it's not right. It's not right. And people should really start looking into these things, because this happens. I'm pretty sure this happens a lot, where you have a kid and then one partner runs off to the other side of the earth, and now the kid is brought up missing. I mean, come on now. And people are so scary and spooky in these times. They'll take their own life as well as what they got going on, God forbid. And Trey, you should have knew her too. Trey, trust me, man. I know, it's probably eating you up inside, just you fighting with the thoughts of why you left her there. But I feel like you was doing the right thing. You want to let the little girl see her mother. I mean, cause why not? And then you realize, but never, never, never again. God forbid, when they find your daughter, hopefully they find your daughter. You guys, you're gonna have to really go back to the courts now, show them what's been going on, show them that the only way that you can leave your daughter with somebody if they're being, watched, or they're in a place where it's timed, like you meet up somewhere and then the kid comes back, but the kid, it doesn't leave your eyes from this point on because of this type of thing. So I'm hoping that he get his daughter back because, come on now, you can't take a daughter away from her father. That's not right. It's not right. You'd be so surprised in these times how much more is a benefit of a little girl having a father in their life and a little boy having just a two-family home. You know what I mean? It's more benefits to it. It's a different outlook for the kid. Try to, work together to try to make it work for the kid. That's what you're usually supposed to do. All that separation, when kids grow, they realize that they start looking at separation. Like, remember I told you, the more you see people getting shot and stuff, the more you don't want to flinch anymore. It doesn't scare you anymore. And kids grow and they realize, they start growing into like this life of relationships are not really worth it, or having that companionship, they don't know what it's like. So now when they jump into a relationship and they get treated a certain way, now they're comfortable with that way because they haven't seen it any other way. So it's like, let's just cut this short, and we see where she's irresponsible, and let's just try to get his daughter back in his possession. And next time, there has to be some kind of law set in place for people that do this type of thing, where that the next time it's almost like they have to get monitored. Like how when people get arrested or whatever, they put that like ankle bracelet. Well, it might have to do this for some parenting too. You might have to put an ankle bracelet on people who kidnap their own kids, because of the sake of their, the two partners, they're not seeing eye to eye. I mean, come on. You don't play with the kids though. Don't play with the kids. As adults, we have our own crazy stuff going on, and we got a lot of things that filter our minds to make us do stupid and say stupid stuff. But when you involve the kids with an innocent mind just trying to grow and find themselves, don't do that. Don't do that. You'll find yourself behind bars for a long time. She needs to get charged behind that. 4 months? Nah, I'm not going for that. 4 months? No way. 4 days, I would have wanted you to get charged for that. Without me hearing back from my daughter, 4 days. 4 days, and I can go on. 4 months? No way. Somebody got to look into that. Seriously, it sounds crazy on that. I don't even want to say, but it sounds crazy. And they can't find her either. Let me tell you, man, laying down with somebody, the sex always feel good, but when it's a person that, is a little cuckoo, you can find yourself in a little, or don't even measure up to the things that you see, like you can find yourself in trouble. Now, if you're having sex with a person, you can possibly see y'all having fun together, y'all kind of share the same things, laugh together, love together. Well, you keep doing what you're doing. This has nothing to do with you guys. You guys have all your fun. Have all your fun. Have sex in strange places. Enjoy life like how it's supposed to be enjoyed. Not like these people taking advantage, because it's not worth it. So, and you know what I wanted to bring to you guys? So, congratulations to young Thug. He won that little legal victory that he can visit Atlanta. And I still feel the same way. I still feel like, don't go. You could fly your family out. Like, going back into the same environment that puts you in these types of positions, it's just, that's not, but you can't, and for certain people, it's just like I'm from New York. I don't want to live any other place. But I know if I had to, I can adapt to it. But I'm just so much used to living here that it makes me feel like I'm in the place where I would want to live. Like if I was from somewhere else, I would want to live in New York. And I don't know, man. If I was put in a position where, God forbid, something like Young Thug and if I went back, I'm gonna be around people that's gonna be possibly take me away from the rest of my life. I don't have to live in New York. Life goes on. I could find somewhere else, and I feel like wherever I stay, I can adapt. I could draw love around me no matter wherever I go. I'll just have those moments in time. But things change. I don't really expect things to stay the same. Like, just because things are solid today doesn't mean that it's going to be solid tomorrow. So I kind of keep a balance in between on how I think. Like, it's not really that much of a big deal just because you can't go back to Atlanta for what, 15 years? I would have knocked that time out like nothing, faced with what I had going, because without that, I wouldn't want to be in prison doing that. So those are the type of things that makes you want to really, realize what's going on here. Come on now. You got a good career still. People still know your name. People still love your music. Just concentrate on that and family, in a place where you're safe and not around all this stuff. Because don't think that everywhere is dealing with these violence and these issues. Yeah, everybody's dealing with like the mental health in different places, but some places are more safer than other places, and that's where you have to find yourself. If you don't know how to operate in certain areas where things can get aggressive. When you're used to the temperatures, it becomes like a norm. It's a regular to you know how to move. That's one of the main things I see people getting wrong in these times. It's just not knowing, the places where they'll be best fit, not knowing the right crowds where they can stand out, or the right crowds where the conversation is mutual. People are putting in places where they're finding themselves in places where people don't even want to see them there, or they're trying to be a part of something. And that's when you find yourself trying to fit in and all this nonsense. No. Every day you wake up, every day you take another breath, is always some kind of thoughts in your head of finding your tribe. People, when I say find your tribe, people that think like you, people that can understand the way you understand, that's what it's all about. But that thing made me, with the trade of truth, that thing made me think over that whole Remy and Papoose. Like, these two people here are fighting over who slept with who, and this guy, he can't even find his daughter. Like, be grateful. Understand that God put us on this earth. No matter how you got here, how your parents got you here, who you came out of, God put us all on this earth, and we have to have some kind of respect, not only for that, but for the people around us, man. Damn. Don't make the violence and all the crazy stuff be the highlights every single day. Damn it, man. More than crazy, more than crazy. That's how the streets died. Because once people couldn't believe in each other, and we started seeing different crimes, and once it got to social media and people took it out of it, like, oh nah, there's no trust in there. Of course the streets been dead. You mean to tell me, with all of this that's going on, like, you think that Diddy is not sitting behind those jail and trying to do anything and come up with anything to try to get himself out? Yes. And he has almost every right to, because in his head he might be looking at it from an angle like, y'all think I'm the only one? I'm not the only one. Y'all pointing me out like I'm this big thing over hip hop when there's more people doing it. So we don't know how it's going. I try to take everything with a grain of salt, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. It's just a lot going on, man. It's just too much going on for you to just point the finger at just one person. Tell me if I'm pronouncing this right, sweetheart. Is it Laricia? Is it Laricia? Did I pronounce that right? Just tell me if I pronounced that right. Yeah, but this morning I just wanted to give you all those vibes, get into these good vibes. I got a lot of things to do. It's Friday. I'm just trying to relax, man. I'm actually really, really tired. Long nights. Yeah. Sometimes people think like, I'm gonna go through a couple, misconceptions about that people could probably think about me. People think like I'm not like a like I hear this, oh, righteous, this, right. It's not, that's not about me. Like me, I've been through so many different things where I just came to a point in my life where it's like I'm getting older, man. Let me just try to do things for the right way and try to see different in things that I might have seen before and took a certain way. That's how my life started changing and turning around. It's not that like, I'm from the same place where y'all from, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the same place. It's just the way I conduct myself, the way I present myself. I just take more heed to that because in these times people could confuse you. I don't mind people confusing me if it's some if it's the right way in the right way, but sometimes people confuse it for something else, and that can you can get into a lot of trouble for the things like that, man. I'm a cool dude, but at the same time, everybody's working and trying to fix their life. I'm trying to do the same myself. I used to have these things. I used to spaz out like just on a quick, just could snap quick like that. And I try to get myself out of that, how I dealt with situations and things like that. Because 9 out of 10 times when you wait it out and you think it out, you're like, okay, wait, I didn't, word, you know? It's kind of like how life works. So I kind of like, I wait for that end result of thinking. Like when I get out of when I'm heated and I'm mad, I kind of wait till I calm down to try to figure out why the hell was I feeling that way. Try to be your own therapist in these times for the people that, been through some things and you got that PTSD. And when you go through some things in the streets or you go through some things in your neighborhoods or wherever, you kind of got to look back at your life and try to fix things before you move on and take these other steps. A lot of these people carry these wrongs with them and then they end up doing the same things over and over and over again. I try to keep myself and I try to find myself in a place where like I'm at peace especially when I come to you guys, because sometimes I can get mad so quick. So yeah, certain situations I be seeing that people go through. Some of them I'm like, oh, I understand how they feel. Yeah, man. But sometimes people can get it twisted on here, and People can get things confused on social media because you're not trying to put yourself out there in a way where people can take you a certain way, but at the same point, you're trying to give that authentic self where somebody can learn something from it. Take something from whatever you got going on. If it's about nonsense, I'm usually 9 out of 10 times not with it. Word. A lot of things going on, man. But that's like the highlight, man. That's like the highlight of that. Then in headlines, the Remy and Pap. I think people are in love with breakups. People are in love with the friction, man. I don't know what it is to be in love with all that stuff, man. It's just like, come on now. People in love with the friction, boy. The next thing you'll be hearing is, oh, Remy, let's try to get Remy to fight her in the ring. It's like, Remy's not no boxer. I hear the craziest things. I know where they're trying to take this. This is where this is like with the whole Mike Tyson thing. I didn't even want to watch that. It's like, come on now. I really watch boxing. Now you're going, ugh. It's like, and especially where I'm from, people don't like, in New York, people don't fight a lot, period. They shoot a lot. Back in the day, you can fight and like, you could still come back out and you could still like, you win or lose, you stood up for what you had to stand for, it went on. And sometimes people ain't having it. Sometimes people came back with the slammer. And that's just how it went. So you got to be very careful. Not a lot of people in these times be fighting and all that. It just don't happen. Look, I seen the other day I was watching, what's up with the Joe Budden's podcast though? In other words, I want to see all these podcasts prospering and keep dropping content, even though sometimes things can go over the whack. I really want to see people just continue doing what they're doing and keep filling these spaces where they're prospering from. But on the other day, I seen a Joe Budden's podcast. I don't believe he was on this one, but Parks, he had like tripped and fell outside, and he had really hurt himself. You know, like his eye was damaged. He had back problems behind it. You know, just and I said to myself, people don't understand. Just from a slip and fall, you can really hurt yourself. People think because they see on social media people getting flipped over on their head, and they don't never see the after. And that's the reason why a lot of times these, you know, people don't risk. The older you get, you don't risk all the fighting, whether you can fight or not. You know, usually it's like it's weapons. You know, we're dealing with America. It's weapons, whether they're illegal or they're not illegal. Usually situations 9 out of 10 times end with that. So if you can try to avoid all of that stuff, it's cool. You know, having somebody think that you're not what you are or you're soft or this and that is a better it's like a better place for you than you having people think that you're the toughest person. The toughest person is always going to be a line of people willing to show you how tough you're not. But the person that they underestimate is always going to be the person that come out on top, because it's just the painting that's set in people's minds and in their head of people, you know. But there's no face that can just point out what they're gonna do next. You don't know that. It has to do with up here. Keep a straight mindset. There's a lot of things going on. I feel like coming up in the next year, we're gonna have a lot of wars. It's gonna be a lot of wars because people are not coming together. They're more taking ownership of other people's things. And with that comes friction, and with friction comes fighting, and with fighting comes deaths, casualties, and things like that. So we gotta prepare ourselves. Don't think these next few months coming is gonna be the easiest for us. The change is gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little friction to get where we gotta go. Nowhere fighting for something never in America never came without blood on it. It's just how it goes, man. Everybody's fighting for something. The other day a thought came to my head. I remember when hip hop, even though it was like wild, I remember a time when we didn't know all of this was going on, and it just looked like everybody was just getting rich and happy. And the ones that lied behind the scenes, at least they didn't get caught, so they still felt good about it, you know, even though they was lying. It wasn't this much friction and people caring about how much this person making this and that. And I think that's because once things started happening in the communities after COVID and people getting sick, people started directing their love and the things that they really care for, and they started pointing that out in their minds. And you start realizing, you start seeing all the bad people doing bad things to other people. You're like, hey, why you do that for? People don't understand. When I look at the news and I see like a elderly person getting hit or something like that, I always think like, yo, you know, I got a grandmother and mother out there. I got my father out there. Somebody go do something to my family. I'm gonna lose it out here, man. I'm gonna lose it out here for real. I'm gonna lose it for real. You can't like. People think they can step on this earth and do whatever they want, and those are the people that I always challenge. When you feel like you're that tough that you can do whatever you want and say whatever you want to people, well, freedom of speech it's free, but it'll take away your freedom of peace. And people gotta understand that too. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. You're never supposed to, you know, mess with another man's, you know, castle or his things like that. It's a lot of the code's been broken. I see in these times, man. That's really, really making people spread apart instead of stay together. Stick to your morals, man. Stick to the things that you grew up upon, man. That's what got you here. You're the best. Like Slum Village said, I wish I could hug you all at the same time. No, for real, you are. I appreciate you. I'm thinking about like, you know, real quick, just to talk on relationships. I see what's going on social media. I don't think, you know, with this whole Beyonce and Jay-Z thing, what do people want out of it? They already fell in love. I feel like once two people fall in love and the ages they're adults, whether they in the past it would have looked like this and that, it's too late. It is too late. Once you fall in love with somebody, you're not gonna be able to pull me away from that person. So I don't know what people, you know, and I don't find it that crazy when a man dates a younger person, as long as it's legal, because oftentimes, you know, Ladies, the females, the girls, they mature way quicker than the boys. Everybody knows this. And 9 out of 10 times, it's usually the female's choice on if she wants to date an older person. It all comes with where they're at in their life and what they're looking for in a relationship. Usually, females that look for like that fatherly type of person in a relationship, somebody that can hold them down, usually find themselves with an older person, whether it's 2, 3, 4 years older, or whatever, however it may be. And for me, for my outlook, those seem like the most happiest relationships. It's only the ones where it's like somebody's looking for an out, you know? Somebody's looking for an out, or somebody feels like there's something else out there that they're missing. But let me tell you a little something about myself. You have to get so blinded in your love that you don't see anything else out there. Like, even if I'm into somebody, I don't see, like, I'm happy there's other couples out there. I'm like, okay, y'all doing good, and I'm so my eyes on my target, my eyes on the one I love, my eyes on getting up with the person, you know. So it's like when you have that feeling for so many different people, man, that's selfish. Like, if you really love somebody, you won't want somebody else outside of your relationship, another female, to know more about you than that person you're with. Because if that's the case, you should be with them. That's why people are going to find themselves in a lot of friendship turn lovers relationships, because a friendship, you kind of wipe out the stuff that you would have hidden if you was trying to go into a relationship automatically. And with a friendship, you kind of adapt to each other's flaws a little bit better. And that, what people are not realizing, that's what makes the best marriages. That's what makes the best relationships. The looks and the physical appearance has to strike you in some way, but it's not everything. Sometimes a lot of times it's great sex, great, maybe just sense of comfort. A person that you feel like you can, to be honest, if you get, like, for me personally, I don't want to give away my secrets, but if I feel like that motherly, hold me down vibes, kind of like not take care of me, but kind of like understand me for when I do need that type of compassion. Those type of people that can read up on those little love languages, and those are usually the ones I really attach to, because outside of the sex and outside of, I have things going on, and I have maybe some things that I don't understand and some things that I find crazy. And those are the things that I like to connect with people. I like to, just like how we're talking here, I like to be able to have that type of space with the one that I love, and it can be more in depth, and I can be more personal, and I can feel comfortable with just saying anything. Now, for some men, that kind of strikes them out, because then some females that's not coming from that type of love will look at that as a weakness. Oh, he's always, he doesn't. These are the things he don't like. It's because you're there. You have to find your match. Like I always told you, sometimes it might, just because it look good, don't mean it feel good. That's why in relationships, like I've learned to, before you want to lock it down, I've learned to say whatever. Learn to be a little more blunt if you're looking for a long term, and don't let your partner know. Just learn to try throwing in, being a little more blunt, and just try make your surprises the things that they don't like. Teach them. You have to teach them how to learn the love that you want them to give you. So you have to kind of throw, it's like, but in a relationship, you kind of have to throw these things in there. Like, let me give you guys an example. Like, if you're looking for a person that, like a baby mother, or you're looking for somebody you can live a long time with, you gotta, when you're taking them out to eat, you have to talk about the cooking, the nurturing, and the it's nothing wrong with talking about your health, and these are things that you want to know. So if you're starting a family, you want to know that, yo, these are the things that I'm facing. It's not that I'm leaving you. You could have whatever. But as long as I know and this is the things I expect, I'm here for you. And these times it's like people only come together for the sex and then they leave. The sex always gonna feel good. Sex feels good. Who doesn't love sex? But we still have to go past the feeling and understand that we want to be able to have this. You know how we are. We want to have this. We want to have this forever. You don't want to just be having your first couple of years. You guys are having sex like rabbits back and back and back, and then a couple of years go, and then you guys turn your back. You guys are not even kissing each other in the morning. You guys are not even talking to each other. That's not gonna make like, nah. Learn from a young age how to dedicate yourself into longer relationships. Don't just run on the first, learn to stick around when it gets, because in the beginning stages of relationships, things can get just sticky from just the bonding of two families, like me meeting your parents, you meeting my parents, my family, and things can get sticky. But those are the things where you're like, you know what? I have an uncle just like your uncle. That's so crazy. Things like that is what brings the bond together. Not holding your partner away from your family and then, hey, pop up. Hey, this is my girl. These are the things you have to actually kind of like blend in your love in these times. Social media has so many pictures of what this thing is supposed to be, and none of these pictures are correct. Around the holiday times, do something special. Like it's a lot of things. Like when I took a look at what she was saying, with the flowers and the Remy and Papoose whole thing, it made when I seen the writing, it made me say, you know what? She got that little old school love in her. She like flowers and things like that. That's the type of man I am. Like I don't. Yeah, flowers don't come with diamonds in it, but you're gonna get the diamond. You're gonna get all of the things that you want, all of the things that you ever dream for. I'm gonna try to get behind it and help you there. But it's the little things, those little things in the day that maybe you get the flowers to at your desk at lunchtime. And oh, that's my man. Just giving you a little reminder when you have love outside of this establishment. After this is all over and they got you working this and that, you can get a massage if you wanted to from your man. You can go to the movies. You can go do whatever. You could fly out you can do whatever because you have love outside of this establishment. Social media has this thing where it's like it's just hook up. No. You really want some good sex from somebody, you guys gotta really get to know each other for real. Like I'm talking about every little bump, I done kissed you on every part of your body. And that takes time. It takes companionship. And I don't see that in these relationships. I just see like pictures of people smiling because they had sex the last night and they've been doing it for a while and they feel like this is a relationship. No, we know it's a big part of it, but there's more to it. There's more to it. Man. More love making music, man. You cannot, if it's a song about love, you cannot hate on that. That's all I'm saying, man. Put love around you, and then you'll find that it'll be easier to to get through. But relationships breaking up, and kids involved, I never liked it. That. But I'm also old school too. That I know some people make mistakes, and some people get caught up in you might not love your girl today. And as crazy as that sounds, you're going to fall in love with her tomorrow because last night she upset your head. And that's just what it's all. You got to keep making it what it is. You got to keep trying to make it work. That's what it's all about, man. Making a strong relationship can go way further than a marriage. Let me tell you. Just because both of y'all are scared of commitment, y'all can't stay away from each other. And y'all don't even realize it. It's just you don't want the name hovered above your head, but y'all didn't realize y'all was together already for 10 years. Y'all already together for 10 years. Why y'all can't go 10 more, 10 after that? It's because once people put that thing above your head, oh, they're married. It's a expectation. You feel that all those expectations that you thought, oh, my money, do I have to split it? All of that stuff is gonna block you from being the best you with your partner. Love is cheap when it comes to the entertainment business because they're selling it they're trying to make profit from it. So it dilutes it to what it actually is. You know, it dilutes it just to the sex. That's all you see, sex, sexiness. You know, but completely different thing when two people, they can't get away from each other like magnets. You know, no matter how far she is on the other side of the earth, I'm gonna get there. If I'm here, she's gonna get here. Whether it's excuses that make us come together, or we gonna find ourselves together. That's what love is really. When you gotta question it and do all of this stuff, and is she sleeping with this person, or does he love her more? Then who knows? You know, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I even seen like they're questioning now, and I don't keep up with all the couples because the more, you know, but Blueface, I'm hearing that they're questioning if that's his baby. All of these things are like, huh? When you get up to the point where you guys are actually gonna produce another person as far as a kid, you should already know. You should like, of course it's mine. Why wouldn't it be mine? Come on now. I was with her every single day. We've been making love to each other for like the longest. While you guys were on social media beefing, like we was in here. It was us. And that's another thing too. When you start a relationship, disconnect from social media for a minute. If you guys can do a little disconnection from social media, it's better off for the relationship. Learn yourself outside of social media when you guys do hook up, instead of like keeping that fire that you had started online. Start taking it offline. So if it starts online, take it offline. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. Just how I feel. Because in a minute, with the way this earth is and the way this world is going, there's going to be probably places where people are going to be going and paying for their loving, going inside a room and getting whatever thing they got to get off, and then they're leaving with no love. And the more you keep doing all this artificial stuff, the more people ain't going to care about nobody. The sex and all that stuff comes in the relationship when you guys commit, and that's the good thing about it, that, you know, you can share that with your partner. But now when they put up all these, you'd be surprised. Trust me. If it gets that bad where it's over sexualization, then prostitutes and all them type of people are gonna be winning. Your man saying he'd be right back and he running over this, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So we got to start work, because all of this, I see, like, that's just sometimes how I think. Like, with all of this technology and stuff, sometimes it overrides the things that we need to do for ourselves. Like, these human connections, no, we have to make these connections ourselves. Don't let no computer or something else make them for you. If that's the case, the computer might as well, before you go lay down with her, the computer might as well say, move over. Or you might as well, when y'all go down to do whatever y'all gotta do, just slap the laptop right next to you and let everybody just tune in. No, to the side. No, these are things you have to experience for yourself. And that's where I'm gonna find myself. I won't even let love miss me. No way I'm letting love miss me. I never do. For some reason, I feel like love hits me when I leave the door open to somebody, and it's always somebody like, huh? But it's usually, you know, but give love a chance. That's what I would say. Give love a chance, because God, if you ask God for love and He throw it to you, sometimes you think it's gonna be something else and it comes some other way, and you have to be open to it in these times. So yeah, man, I'm hoping that Remy and Pat get things situated, as well as Easy the Block. I don't know who's with who. I don't know what the relationships are looking like. But from what I heard, they just said that Papoose was in the house with Remy, right? So that's what I heard. That he was in the house and he fell asleep and she called and heard Rem and hung up. So that means that they're still in the same household, and we might not be all the way right with the Easy the Block. It's not like she's living over there. Maybe they had the fling thing for the second. We don't really actually know. But from what I've seen in those pictures, that was surprising to me. With the Christmas picture and the picture, I believe she was like out at a football game with him. I was like, oh, I didn't know. Wow. It's like kind of hit me like, oh. I put myself in his shoes. Like if I looked over and seen, you know, a guy with his hand, you know, Christmas, nah, man, nah, no, sir. Not my lady, not my lady. You can't do that to my old lady. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way. As a man, no way. It's something that does. We don't have it. Us as men, we don't have it. Like we can't really hold that like the ladies, cause we can't do that. It's just we sensitive to that part. Like you can't do that to a guy. I don't care what guy it is, man. You be sensitive to that, man. You can't. We're gonna start thinking things. Nah, You getting what I'm getting, but nah. No sir, no sir. That's why I don't even understand these guys when how could you have somebody that you love and you call somebody in the room to do something with her and you sit there and watch? That means you treating her like just like a sex object. You don't really got no love for her. I can never ever see another man making love to my lady. I just can't. Not even I wouldn't even want to see that like come out on like my exes. I have that much respect. I don't want to see it. I just don't want to see it. I still will feel some kind of way. And it's not that I have attachment to them, but we did at some point love each other. So that never, people don't realize that either. Once you love somebody, have a deep love for somebody, there's a part of you that still holds on to that. And no matter if you hate that person, you swear, there's still a little part of you because when you come together and you're doing what you're doing, you guys are sharing something that's a little more special, and a lot of people only share that with one person, and that's for the rest of their life. But the times we live in, we share with a whole bunch of people until we feel the right share and which one is, the right one for us. So, no, I just can't. No, I come from I mean, like what Biggie say when it comes to sex. Similar to the Thriller in Manila. Honeys call me Biggie, the condom filler. Certain things, man, you can't, I don't know, I'm coming from the times like when you kids, you're dealing with, starts from like the hickeys and then I don't know where these people, I had some good times, man. I don't know how these people are coming up. I see a lot of the younger guys now, they're very aggressive with the ladies. I'm like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know. I just thank God I've never been around like super wild females like how I be seeing online, like just super wild. Girls are chicks, but not super wild where the level of respect could have led into something else. Never, ever in my life dealt with somebody like that. But I do see it. I think the first time I seen like the wildest relationships, it was probably Love and Hip Hop. Like that's when I seen Stevie J, even though these things happen outside and they're just not documented. When I seen Stevie, he was in there sitting down. He had Jocelyn there, and then he had Mimi there, and then Jocelyn outside. It was going crazy. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Like we hear about it, but ever from a kid, I told you, like I've always been in long-term relationships. There's always been like years and years and years. I never had that chance to just go off in a whole bunch of, it just never, that wasn't my twist. It didn't work for me that way. You know what I mean? The times when I played the single life, it was, then I was going around. But at the same time, it was like, you want to hear something crazy? There was a thing called the Greek Fest in Long Island, right? Out here in New York. There's a Greek Fest every summer, everybody gathering, beach parties. And I remember, it was a time. Joel Santana, he had a Maybach out there at that time. We whipped up. We got the whips coming down. We cleaned the whips early. It's a whole routine. I'm talking about car wash. It's a whole routine. You get your crew. You go out to Long Island. You enjoy yourself. The ladies in the cars driving next to you, and just everybody having a good time. And at that time, we used to battle on how many numbers we got. And could you imagine the number of amounts that we were like competing with? I'm talking about at least 20 to 30. I think my brother Andy had the most. I think he had like at least 40 numbers. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Like, that's how many people were just getting numbers, chopping it up. It was a time. It was a time where getting to know people from different boroughs. We all get in this place and all these beautiful ladies, they're all over the place and everybody's enjoying themselves, listening to the same music. That love feeling was in the air. It wasn't more like, and this was a time where if a lady walked by, yeah, dudes was slapping ladies in the back. That was one of our wrongs in our times where we didn't see any wrong in that, but now when I look back at that, it's like, oh, that's a little, you can't really put your hands on a female like that if she ain't really, want, but in our times, that was like, oh, if you walk past this line, and then they'll look back, probably crack a joke, their friend look back, and then some of them, it was times where dudes would slap a chick. Maybe we take a trip out to Miami, dudes would slap a chick on the behind, excuse me, and they'll turn around like, who did that? And then so these were things that we learned to grow up like, oh, that's not, like always, I was raised good, so I was like, oh, nah, yeah, you went a little too far on that, I always had that in the back of my head for certain people. It's just when you're raised right, you could be amongst a lot of people, but what's right from wrong. So that was going on in our times. And yeah, people used to compete on just how many chicks we would get, and then call them, pick them up on a late night or the same night, because the Greek Fest really went through it was like a whole day. It was from morning all the way, nighttime there'd be clubs and other things to party and places to go, whatever chick you had met earlier, scoop her up, head out, crew style, everybody whips out. It was beautiful times. It was the moments that you never forget. Plus, there was a lot of celebrities, stars. There was a lot of people that came out to the Greek Fest. I'm not even sure if they still do it. I will picture in these times it'd be very dangerous to do something like that because of the pill use and people just taking advantage of the females. It'll be scary. But yeah, there's a time for everything, different stages in your life where you see things different. The older you get, the more respect you should kind of build up and have for the next person, But in my younger days, it's wild stuff have been going on, and I never thought it was a problem. You know how many times I've like the Greek or Miami, a girl just grabs me in the crotch. It doesn't matter to me. That wasn't like because it was a girl. I didn't take that as like a bad thing. But in these times, that can be looked at as bad. Like, oh, why the girls all grabbing you up? I just thought at the time, sometimes I didn't really want to be grabbed there, but it didn't really bother me. I mean, you wearing sweats, you got the print, girls looking, people, and they just die. And it's like, in my head, I'm just like, whatever. But in these times, you look back, and if that was my son or some younger kid, it just would be a little funny. So I guess the more you grow, the more you see things different, but it didn't bother me. I have chicks grab me hit me in the back, all that stuff. The girls were doing the same things too. But now we see how dangerous this stuff can get. This is when we do the corrections and we want. But for me, the youth coming up, I want them to I'm more looking at it like I want them to enjoy themselves more instead of hurting each other. There's so many of them that they don't even understand that they are the party. They are the fun. But they choose this route of looking at what our endings and our fighting and our fussing, and they take that part. And that's what messed it up. From your younger years, you're supposed to have the most fun ever. Ever, 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 ever. The older you get, you're not going to be able to be in all these places because your time is consumed by the things that you brought into your life. See, most women only like to be tapped on the butt when she's with the guy or... See, when I was younger, let me be honest with you. Like, I don't know if it was like, I don't know if there's like a respectful way to do it. And I did participate in it, but every time, like, I got my turnarounds that the chicks always loved it. If I get the cute, then I'll just go and we'll chop it up maybe. I even have pictures. I actually have pictures of those times anyway. But it's, in these times, you just don't know. It ain't right. I don't know. It ain't right. I can tell y'all some stories too, like in Miami. We was in a hotel where everybody in the hotel was having sex. Everybody. I'm just not talking about like if you on a late night, right? Like if you walked out your hallway, you walked out your room, you had no choice but to feel some kind of way or get horny because you heard people having sex in the rooms. So it's like, wow. It was a time. If you had, like, for example, one, me, okay, so let's put it like this. It's half and half. There's times when I went out there when I was single, and there's times when I went out there in a relationship. In a relationship, yeah, for me, you can call me the party poop or whatever. I actually have my wifey, me and her, like, we went out there separately, and at the time we just read up together, and then we just spent, like a vacation for us, and everybody else that we came with separately, they enjoyed the time, and we just enjoyed the time out there at a point. But when I single go out there, then it's kind of like you can't pull me back from Wet Willie's in these places, because at that time it was like the fun thing to do and everybody was participating. But in these times, I don't think that type of fun can be. In these times, I'm scared that the youth even can gather. They can't even gather. Because then it's always something that happens, a friction or something, and they don't see how much fun and how much more the world has to offer than to be fighting. I ain't saying that at a young age you ain't supposed to explore and you ain't supposed to find the things that you love sexually and the things that you love in your partner. I'm not saying that that's the times where you're supposed to do all of that. But you can't get to that in unsafe environments. You can't. I never went to Cancun. I never really wanted to go to Mexico. To be honest with you, whether it was Cancun party, whatever, I was just never the Mexico traveling type. I remember one year we could have went out to Mexico, but I'm not really a Mexico traveling type. To be honest with you, a place that I haven't been before that I would really, really want to visit. Y'all be surprised. My family's from Barbados. I never ever in my life been to Jamaica. Never been to Jamaica, so I would love to maybe one day go to Jamaica. That'd be probably cool. Go back home to Barbados. That's always a good thing. But besides that, a lot of these places where that type of stuff was going on, in these times, 2025, I think I'm gonna find myself more in little functions, having the best of moments, and building my moments up with people that love me and people I can trust myself and trust around me. And these will be the new fun moments, like how I experience. So if you want to experience what you experienced in the past, there's ways to do it as an adult and still come out with the same feelings. I remember those times, and they were fun back then, but I can't see myself now. I remember the walls were so thin that you could tape record, just walk down. In these times, I can't even, with a phone and you tape in, you could just hear it. I mean, the sex screams you could sample that and turn it into a song. I'm telling you, it's people out there, we was getting busy, I love to see, when it comes down to that, I love to see the ladies from different places and everybody, just with that smile on their face. To me, that always brought good times. We gotta get back to that stuff. We gotta get back to all the love making and all the other stuff, because all this fussing and fighting is just making the world a more trauma and harder place to live. I'm sorry. I remember like 40, 50, I'm talking about 40, 50 numbers a piece, and we had to go through them, and like crazy. The good old days, man. And these times you get a big gathering and somebody got to bring a gun and somebody got to do, everybody running now, he getting trampled, she getting trampled. It's so much violence. It's to the point where it's damn near, that's why if you want, in these times, you want to experience all of this fun, all of this love, and you try to experience that with one person only. One, your partner. Somebody that understands you for you, understand where you want to go, where you're trying to take it, where you're headed, what they have going on, you're there to support them, and that makes a great couple. That's it. And good sex. If you ain't good in bed, then find somebody that's not good in bed, and then y'all get good in bed together. What can I tell you? Everybody gonna think, trust me, we all human. We all gonna think we good in bed until we experience something new. Like, my goodness, last night was crazy. You know? So we don't know who's good in what. We don't know. We just know that when it come together, if it feel real good, we want some more. We only human. We only human. Some of the things I hear, people that act like, you know, if they were in the same situations, it's hard. It's hard. And Clarissa Shields too, the boxer with the Remy and the Pap. It's not like, I mean, she knew that day, but you can't. I know you can't. If two people, if they hook up and they like each other and they start looking for each other and start DMing each other and start doing things out, you know, they're gonna find themselves with each other. They're gonna find themselves with each other, as life would tell it. That's just how it goes. But you know, she should stand her. If she really want, if there is a thing and she wants Papoose, because I heard the flowers in it. Like, she was more like, you know, call when you get home. These are little inklings of, like, if I want to make sure that you get home safe, like, you my baby. Like, I don't want you to ever get hurt. Like, I'm falling in love with you. Like, if I'm giving you flowers and these things, like, and I want you to get home safe. These are things that's leading into you guys hooking up. Those type of words, you know, what she was saying to me, just because my psychological thinking, when a female mentions flowers in conversation, it's telling you I'm not like them. I'm not looking for money. I appreciate the little things. That's what that says. Yes, I do like the big things, and yeah, I like that stuff too, but I can appreciate you for this. And that says a lot. But it's still, you're still in the wrong, sweetheart, because he's a married man. He's a married man. Damn. You know, regardless of what, and Easy too, you know, you can't just come out and speak on Papoose like it's like, you know, like, oh, I got this, because I see Easy. He's not a bad guy. He's not like a evil guy or a guy that's just out there to, you know, harm people or anything like that. We're talking about a group of people they're good people. It's just you know, when you find yourself in these predicaments, you can't really act like you didn't know they were married. I mean, she's married. Goodness gracious, she's married. That's, you know, these are things that, you know, you learn at your job place. You see a beautiful lady on the floor. She's beautiful. You might think she's looking at you or give you that, but she's married. Like, unless she makes the first move or something, you cannot disrespect it and think that you can just automatically bring up a conversation about something like that. It's disrespectful. And that's one of the reasons why you have to respect people's space. You can compliment somebody, you can be nice to somebody or overly nice to someone, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go out of your way and then step into that world, because then look what happens. It doesn't, it's a fuss. And and let me tell you something, you think when two people are in love with each other, it's hard to pull them away. You can't pull two people away from each other if they love each other. Are you crazy? There's no way. You could think that you're pulling them away and put them there, but if they love each other, look, man, go ahead and do what you gotta do. That's just how it goes out. I would hope that, because to me, Remy and Pap, they did look like a good couple, but that's just looks. And you know what I will always tell you guys, you know, you don't ever know what's going on, or it could have been an overwhelming relationship. Some people don't look at it like that. Like, sometimes other people's expectations for other people's relationships can mess up their relationship. People have their own outlook of how things should be, and 9 out of 10 times it's never right. I'm sorry, it's never right. You'll be surprised the things that I love in a female way before I start saying, oh, look how sexy this and all that. Yeah, that's the first thing that brought me to it, but it's a lot of other things that makes me say, you know what, I will go to the end of the earth and I will go out for you. That's a whole different thing. It's a different chapter, a different type of mindset that you have to even maintain something like that, a relationship. In these times when so many people feel like there's so many options, when it really isn't. Not all relationships work out, but There's always, if a good relationship, no matter if it works out or not, you should always be able to take something away from it that probably changes something in your life or something that you might not have knew that you wanted. And now that y'all separate, you can't get that out of a person. You will always look to find that in somebody else. That always happens. That always happens. Whether it's security, just how a person makes you feel. You know, that's something, if you feel really good about that, that's probably one of the things that you'll look for in your next relationships to come. Bad breakups, bad marriages, all of that stuff can be all turned around with just a better sense of, you know, what do you guys want from each other? What type of love? I don't know. We'll see what's going on, and I'm gonna have some new videos. I'm gonna drop a extra video for the weekend, and I'm gonna work on some things that I have been working on for the brand. It's me. It's a family brand, so you know it takes time for us to build everything up, and I'm just trying to work with, you know, build it with my peoples, man. It's not a rush for me. It's not a rush for me. But if it's anything that I said in today's live that you can take with you, or maybe that opened you up to thinking something different, yeah, man, I think I did my job, because not everybody's the same. And when you're out there, if you're looking for love, stop looking. Stop looking. Just feel inside of you, and it will attract to you. That's how it works. Take time to get to know a person, and trust me, online relationships work out too. Don't let people fool you. The more you guys build up, and then you finally meet, there's something in there. There's something in that, you guys, all right? There's something in there. Don't let people confuse you of what love is, and it's a feeling that you want forever, forever, ever. Yep. You have a good weekend too. Much love. You're the best. You made me feel good. You made me feel good. I want you guys to have a good weekend too, and I'm gonna find some new topics and new things that we're gonna talk about when it deals with like relationships, hookups, and all that stuff. And I got a lot of stories for you guys. I can tell you guys about just great relationships and some mistakes I made in some of my relationships that I'm never ever gonna do again. So I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. It's Friday the 13th, but it don't gotta be spooky. You're welcome. And God bless you. And I hope that you guys enjoy your weekend. And if you're not enjoying your weekend, hit me up, and then we're gonna have to enjoy this weekend together. All right? Love you. And stay blessed. Stay blessed. Get it.